Welcome back to the Roy Works channel. In today's video, we are going to renovate a back room and turn it into a temporary living room. So at this point, we thought we would be jumping outside and starting the siding. But the weather really hasn't been cooperating. We've been getting snow, rain. So instead of fighting the elements, we figured we'd jump back into the house and renovate a back room that was used for the previous owner as a medical area and get that made into a temporary living room. You can see here there's a ton of wood that we've used on this project that was scattered all over the property. It was a good idea to keep that wood and use it, especially with how expensive wood prices are. So here you can see the addition that was put off the back of the house. It wasn't really well built. It has a horrible foundation. They lined the inside of the walls with OSB instead of sheetrock. They just painted it. It was even attached very poorly. So Shane isn't even sure if he wants to keep this back part of the house. He eventually might rip it off and turn it into an attached garage and get rid of the old garage that's outside. So to make it useful for the time being, he figured, you know what, he'll go through, paint the walls, put some vinyl flooring down, and just make it comfortable for the meantime. This is not going to be a perfection built project yet. It's going to be very cheap and very fast. We don't want to spend a lot of time on it because, like I said at the beginning of the video, we want to jump outside and get stuff started on the outside. So he was able to do this very cheap. He got some pretty good vinyl flooring. It's a good quality water resistant flooring that just snaps together. It has its own underlayment attached to the back of it, so you can just put it right on top of the existing subfloor. You don't have to put an underlayment down or anything. And you just work from left to right. You snap it together very easily. It has a few tricks to it though to make sure it goes easy. You want to line up the joints really well and make sure that everything is snapped together. We also put one of the radiators out here. In the beginning of this video, you could see we ran tubes out, some PEX piping out to feed that. That's also probably temporary, but that heating can also be used in the temporary garage. I mean, in the new garage if he ever decides to put that on. So Tracy and Shane went through and they were able to get this flooring done relatively quick. I want to say it was probably like an hour, hour and a half to get it all put down. You want to lay it down in like a brick pattern. You don't want the seams to line up. So you can see it went pretty well. You use a rubber mallet and kind of just make sure all the joints snap in. At that time, I had the radiator installed and we had heat. So things started to get comfortable right off out there. So now we had to address all the joints where the OSB met together. We were thinking what would be the quickest and easiest and best way to do that. And we figured, you know what, we have a ton of wood left over. So we'll just cover it. We'll make it look like a little bit of a beam work. You know, it's not going to be perfect at all. You know, that's kind of the feel of the room too. It's going to be kind of like a rustic hunting lodge or like just a comfortable rustic room. So originally, the wood shop was in that back room. But now we moved it into Shane's front room that you could see the outside of it there a couple minutes ago. So Shane said instead of cutting up a bunch of wood, why don't we just take the trim off the windows in that workshop room? Because eventually when he remodels that, he wants to redo a lot of that and do the trim a lot different. So instead of cutting up a bunch of wood, staining it and everything, that trim was going to work out perfect. They're the same size windows, so they'd be able to pop off of there and get put right back on without any cuts at all. Sorry about the film quality in this part of it. The sun coming through the windows was, it was pretty bright, so it like gave off kind of like a weird glare. This went really well. This took about a little over 2 days, almost 2.5 days, and it worked out pretty well. It didn't cost that much. I think it was about $500, including the flooring. So if he decides to get rid of this back room, he can always use that flooring in another room, like a bedroom or something. So it's not like it's going to go to waste, because it comes up just about as easily as you're able to put it down. Over here, Shane's setting up a rustic shelf for his TV. So at this point, he trimmed out this case opening, and we got all the trim around the windows done. He put up a shelf for his bow. This is going to be just like a rustic mud room, collectible room. Like, he's just going to have fun in here. This is actually a end table that he made from a piece of wood from the property. He hollowed it out, and he's going to finish sanding that up. He wanted kind of like a live edge looking side table. And as you'd know it, I had a leak. It's hard to get good plumbers nowadays. This all worked out really well. Should make a good temporary living room for him. He's going to keep his bicycle on those hooks over there. He has his motorcycle helmet and jacket over there. I didn't want to make this video too long because like I said, it's a temporary living room, so we're not super proud of it, but at least it's like a comfortable necessity. It's going to make the rest of the project go well. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Next video, you'll see us hop outside and we're going to start the siding. Thanks for hanging out.